Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a video before, or at least done to this capacity. In my very first vlog, I showed you guys kind of my process when I'm thrifting and a mini haul, but I haven't really shown you kind of a lot of the stuff that I find and the types of stuff that I like to thrift. So since that video, I've sold out most of my stock. I needed a fresh start. I needed to restart. I had accumulated so much over the past year and a half, and I was like, okay, it's time to do something fresh. It's time to be more selective with my items, and I'm really happy because I've done that, and I'm pretty happy with the things that I found. And it's really only picked up here over the past month because of Beckett. Not that I mind. I love staying home with him, but it's nice to be able to get back into the swing of something that I love to do for personal reasons and to make a little bit of extra money. So with that being said, let's get started with the haul. The first thing that I'm going to show you guys is this Colorado Buffaloes National Championship sweatshirt. So I love vintage Colorado Buffaloes stuff, especially their National Championship gear from 1990. So if you don't know, that year they were actually co-national champions with Georgia Tech. Back then it was based on two different polls. Colorado won one poll, or was voted to the top of one, Georgia Tech the other, and so they were both national champions. It's such a cop-out. That's kind of the way that they did it back in the day, because back then it was all based on your record, strength of schedule and things like that, which I know it is today as well, but in the early 90s there was no national championship game at all. It was just, okay, you're at the top at the end of the season, so you're the national champion. So I'm glad we changed it. But that stuff is extremely rare. A lot of it is actually on my eBay watch list, and every time I find it, it's never in my size, or people are selling it for, actually, what it's worth, and I can't blame anybody for that. But another thing about that's actually my size, and it kills me because it's my modern day size. Back then, extra larges, they fit like a large or even a medium. That one fits, but you don't really want to see me in it. So I've got a friend of mine from Instagram who I think I'm going to do a trade with. If you want to go and give him a follow, his name is Vintage Thrifter. He's a super cool guy. He has a lot of cool gear, so go and give him a check out on Instagram. So I'm going to show a couple of things, and I'm going to say I don't buy a lot of this stuff, and you're going to watch this video and you're going to say, you said you don't buy a lot of this stuff and you're showing it to us. I always say I'm not going to buy a ton of Denver Broncos stuff. It will sit forever most of the time, because for whatever reason, back in the late 90s, they were a hype team. When they won those two back-to-back Super Bowls, everybody jumped on that train. They printed a bunch of merch, and now anytime you go to a Denver thrift store, you're going to find a lot of it. And for whatever reason, the thrift stores here in Denver love to jack up the prices. So you have to be pretty selective with what you buy and get it cheap. However, you don't see a lot of these. So these are one of my other favorite things to thrift, and unfortunately you don't find a lot of them. So this is actually, the newspaper headline for when they won Super Bowl 33 back in '99. That was the year they beat the Falcons. They were back-to-back champions, and Elway actually retired after this. But I love this print. I love these newspaper prints. There's something so cool about it. I found one from an 80s Kansas City Royals when they won the World Series against the Cardinals once. There's something about these that is just super, super awesome. So I almost actually passed the next thing up in the thrift because I didn't really pay attention to it, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I can't pass this up because it's actually kind of has some value and some historical things to it. So this shirt is Breakfast with Bill, Denver, Colorado, November 3rd, 1992. If you don't know what that is, that was the Clinton Gore presidency when Bill Clinton won. And so this was actually his final campaign stop, or his final tour stop. This campaign slogan was "A New Dawn in America." This shirt is super cool, regardless who you support in the presidency. If you think you don't like the Clintons, whatever, this is super awesome because it's so old and such a cool piece of America's history. So the next thing is another Denver Broncos piece, but it's also a Green Bay Packers piece. I had to get this, and it says it's an XL, but it's definitely not. So this is a starter crew neck. It says Collision Course, and it's got Brett Favre and John Elway on it, and it is one of the sickest Super Bowl graphics I've ever seen. Just these face-to-face, face-off graphics. These are, I don't know, there's something about it. I've never seen this one before, so I had to cop it. So the next thing kind of infuriates me a little bit. Champion jerseys are kind of like, it's hit or miss on what has value and what doesn't have value. Denver Nuggets ones typically do have some value, and I love Denver Nuggets champion jerseys because, you know, I love the Denver Nuggets. And this one is actually kind of obscure. It's Rodney Rogers. He only played for the team for a couple of years in the early 90s. So this one is a size 48, which is an XL, and it fits me, but it is a little bit tight. But this colorway, the graphic on this thing is still pristine. I had a Matumbo one once, and it was super tight. This one not as tight. They're the same size. Champion was a little bit inconsistent with their jerseys, in my opinion. But yeah, that one may stay with me in my personal collection for a little while. I have posted it online, but if nobody bites it, it's going to stay on my personal rack, which you can't see, but it's over that way. So another thing, the next two, actually more Denver Broncos stuff, but like I said, it's got to be super cool. And I actually really like this. So this is a John Elway Denver Broncos shirt, but it says "Built Bronco Tough," and you've got this big semi-truck in the background, and it says 16 years, 50,000 yard warranty. This was a play on the old Ford commercials from the late 90s. It was super ingenious and super cool, and I love these throwback player shirts. I actually found another Elway one and a Terrell Davis that day as well. They're super sick. So the other Broncos thing that I'm going to show you guys, and this is super awesome, is this. This is such a sick piece. This is back, you know, when they were divided into 3 divisions in each conference in the NFL. And this is actually, it says Broncos territory, and on each of the gravestones, you have the Seahawks when they were in the AFC, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Chiefs. It's printed on an anvil. It says the art is by Unbalanced Lines. It's super, super sick. It's an XL. One of the greatest Broncos graphics I ever have seen. The next thing, so Nutmeg Mills did a lot of these cool things with different types of player, roll type of shirts. I'll just show you as an example. So this is a Florida Marlins one that I found. So it's actually you inside of the catcher's mask with someone up to bat. I found a Rockies one like this last summer, and I love these. They're super sick. They have football ones where they're being tackled. I actually have a Lee Sport one where it's a Pistons one. It's in my personal, where it's actually someone shooting the basketball. They're super, super cool. The next item, it's really not anything that great. I just love what the back of it says. It's a Colorado football shirt. It says Colorado football is life, but I love the brand. Big Ball Sports. Anything that's obscure like that or kind of innuendo-y, I find absolutely hilarious. And the graphic on this is pretty cool. I like the big football. Perfect for football season. I've discovered that a lot of the thrifts here in Colorado like to hoard their football stuff all summer and then put it out all at once. It's nice then, but it kind of stinks because it makes the summer a little bit dry. The next piece is a Colorado Rockies starter puffer. Back when I started thrifting, I thought, oh man, all starter jackets are grails, all starter jackets are awesome. And I'm a little bit mad this one's missing its pull tag. It's got a zipper, but not the starter pull. And I just discovered that, you know, that's actually not true. Starter jackets, they depend on the team, the style, whatnot. This one is my size. Actually, that's kind of the reason I got this one. I'm going to try to sell it, but I'll probably just use it as a winter jacket this year just because it's pretty simple. The color blocking is there's nothing great about it, but I like it, and so I bought it. That's kind of another thing about me with thrifting. I will buy things that I like regardless if they will make me money or not, just because I think they're cool. I'll throw them on my personal shelf. I'm actually going to throw a few things from my personal collection up for sale just because I don't wear them. They didn't fit like I thought they would, or I just don't really care for it anymore. That's kind of how I go. So this next piece is not technically vintage. It'll be vintage in 4 months. It is this 2000 Sydney, Australia Olympics. This is for the U.S. cycling team. Actually, no, it's not even the U.S. cycling team. It's just the cycling team. The graphic on this thing is super freaking awesome. Usually I prefer the Atlanta 96 stuff, but that's pretty sick as well. The next item, and this is something that I wish was my size, it's this Colorado Avalanche jersey. It's made by CCM, and it's got the center ice patch. I don't know what it is. I think this black one is a little bit more rare. It does kind of fit me even though it is a medium, but you don't want to see me wearing it. But I don't know, I really have an affinity for these center ice patches. I think they're really cool. They're different, and you're starting to see more of those pop up as well. So the next item is a logo athletic 49ers Steve Young jersey. And usually I won't pick these up because if you go on Reddit, they have different forums for jersey collectors, and if you try to post a logo athletic for sale, they're going to say, well, that's a fake jersey, that's a reprint jersey. This one is actually really cool in the fact that it's actually made out of the mesh material. A lot of the other ones are made out of some weird material. I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. And the numbers are more like, they're not screen printed, but I don't know how to describe it. They just feel cheaper. However, this one feels really nice. It's got the logos on the sides of it here. You know, it's actually like jersey screen printed material. So I had to pick this one up with football season around the corner. It's super sick. This next item, I don't see a lot of this team around, and so when I saw this I was like, okay, cool, and it wasn't very expensive. So this is a Purdue Boilermakers football sweatshirt. I scooped it up immediately because I just think that their old logos and their old designs are super cool, super interesting. And then I've got one more thing that I'm going to show you guys. So I have moved to Colorado. I'm from Tennessee originally, and I grew up a Tennessee sports fan. I love the Grizzlies, I love the Titans. We didn't have a baseball team, so where I'm from, you either took the Cardinals or the Braves, and I grew up a Cardinals fan. And then hockey, we had the Nashville Predators. They came in the late 90s, early 2000s. They weren't very good for a while, and then in the past few years they've gained hype. So before, I used to be a Grizzlies, Titans, Cardinals, Predators fan, but since I moved to Colorado, I've switched to all Colorado teams except football. I'm still a diehard Titans fan. I don't know why, but I found this jersey in the thrift, and I've got to get it clean. There's some staining on it. It is this really old CCM Nashville Predators jersey. It's an XL. It's got these super sick patches on it. It's a really cool jersey. The material's nice, and that old Predators logo is just really awesome. So I may keep this as kind of a reminiscent reminder of where I came from and what my roots are. So I also found a ton more stuff. I've got bags over there, bags over there. I've got to get stuff posted online, but that was just some of the coolest stuff that I have found over the past month. If you guys want to cop any of this stuff, you can go to my Instagram at Nostalgia Vintage Supply, or you can go and try to find me on Depop, Mercari, or Poshmark. Really, if you want to buy, I usually actually, for some reason, post more on Poshmark and Mercari, but if you want anything, let me know. We'll work it out. And of course, don't forget to go and follow my personal Instagram at @TheMileHighDad. That is it for this video. Thanks, guys. Catch you later. Bye.